Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 162 of Classic Elite. My name is Scott. I've got Dustin with me. What's going on, man?
We're all updated and ready to go.
We are all updated. It took about 15-20 minutes for us to get everything all squared away so we could record tonight.
It's like we're trying to play a PlayStation 4 game or something.
Right? No, actually, that's not true. I held off an update, remember? The recording software for the audio version,
right.
I didn't update. I was a little nervous. I will update after the show, though. So, yeah, man. It has been a busy last week for myself, but what about you? What's new with you?
I started a new regiment where I wake up at 5 o'clock and go to the gym.
I thought you were going to say and play video games, like Brad Shoemaker does.
I wish. No, I have to... I got to where I would be like, I'll go to the gym after work, and then, of course, something would come up, and I wouldn't be able to go to the gym, and I was, I'm paying $25 a month for it, just for me, and it was basically just a waste of money, so I got to where I just get up and go to the gym.
Nice. So what's your
nighttime?
What's your routine like? Are you more of a cardio guy? Are you trying to bulk up? Like what's
yes.
Both?
Yeah.
Okay.
I run to the gym, 1 mile to the gym.
Yep.
Then I do strength training, and then I run 1 mile back.
There you go. So you want to have 3 guns on you at all times? Is that what you're saying?
That's right. Yeah.
So, I've just been busy with work and stuff. Nothing exciting to really talk about. I've been playing plenty of games, though, so we should have a good time talking about that kind of stuff. But, I guess outside of playing video games, I don't really have anything else to report on. Usually we have something to talk about, but the theme song's still playing.
Yeah. Well, I can tell my wife... You know what's the worst? When you go to a restaurant and it's not very good, but it's still expensive?
Yes. In fact, the more expensive it gets, the more frequently I find that happens.
Yeah.
Like, give me, some Chain City barbecue or something like that. Where it's consistent, I know what I'm getting. Oh, no, I do have a kind of a crappy story. So, I came home from lunch yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
The entire gutter on the front of my house was on the ground. No, not the entire. All but one corner of the house. It was hanging on by one nail.
Oh, man.
I felt like Josh. Remember all those horrible car stories he would have a couple years ago?
Yeah.
So I get home and I'm like, oh shit, you gotta be kidding me. Like, my gutters are down. Like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Are they heavy? Can I put this back up myself? Like, am I going to have to call friends over? Like, what do I do? It's windy out, so it's only a matter of time before that other nail just gives way.
Yeah.
So, I get to the one end that's still secured, and I try to lift everything up, and it's just too heavy and awkward. And then it dawns on me, if I can get the middle section up and secure that, then maybe I can quickly get, work from inside out.
Right. Right.
Puberty, Dustin. So, but that ended up working.
Oh, man.
So that ended up working out. So I got my gutters back up. But I think one of my big adult purchases this coming year in 2016 is going to be new gutters across my house.
Oh, that's a blast.
Yeah. And I'm going to get those kind that have the guards on it for leaves. Because I've got 3 big maple trees that surround my house.
Ooh, yeah.
So I need to get that taken care of.
Oh, you'll never have to clean your gutters again. It'll be awesome.
Yeah, exactly, dude. It was one of those things where I'm like coming down my street and I'm like, what's in front of my that's not my gutter. No. Oh shit, that's my gutter. That sucked. So. Well, let's get into some gaming news, man.
Ready?
Got to call back to an older episode. I don't know which one, but you made a prediction. and it was around the Mega Man Legacy Collection's physical copy.
Mm-hmm.
You said it would be $30 or $40. And when the digital versions came out and it was only $15, I said, Dustin, you know what, Mike? I put a drill on my Christmas list. Mike's commenting in the comments, if only I had a drill. No, I just needed a hammer and nails, and it was all good. But, Dustin, you were correct, man. The physical copy of Mega Man Legacy Collection is going to be twice as expensive as the digital copy. It's going to come in at $30. And that looked like for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and the 3DS. Comes out in February.
What about Wii U?
The Amazon listing I saw didn't have that listed.
Huh. Poor Nintendo.
Poor Nintendo.
Well, no, Nintendo's fine. Poor Wii U.
Yeah. Okay. Way to rephrase that. You're correct. But yeah, man. I guess congrats to you on your prediction. I'm a little salty that you were correct. I was hoping for like a $19.99 something.
Yeah.
Something in that range. But
well, nobody go buy it, and then it'll be super cheap, and then it'll skyrocket in price.
See, but here's also the problem with it was that's the secondary market that it'll skyrocket in, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's not going to sell much of the physical version, most likely, anyways. So it's going to have them just reinforce that no one cares about Mega Man anymore stigma that they seem to have instead of putting out.
Well, I don't know that they can make a good Mega Man game if they wanted to anyway.
They should hire Colin Moriarty. He's convinced he could do it with a good story, and I believe him. So Mega Man Legacy Collection is going to be $30, and I thought that was interesting. Our buddy Zarek for Zarek's Gaming Channel cracked me up on 2 different occasions this week, man. So you finally saw that meme that he put to us on Twitter?
Yeah, that was great.
So what he did was he if you listen to our last episode, Dustin was talking about the things that are like the sharpest in the world. And you were convinced that cut-off zip ties are the sharpest things, right up there with Wolverine's claws and lightsabers.
That's science.
So we got a tweet from Zarek, and it's a meme of Wolverine with zip ties over his claws, and says, "Cut off zip ties. Now I'm truly dangerous." So that was sweet. And then we also got a little nudge from him on Twitter, and he played one of my Mario Maker levels on his YouTube channel.
Sweet.
And gave a shout out. And I got to tell you, man, watching it was I'm embarrassed because it's the first level that I've ever made. Mm-hmm. So it's shitty, and he had no problem with it. But man, is it amazing to watch people play your level. Like, he did something in it that I didn't think you could do. Like, it just didn't dawn on me. I set up this long jump, and you could take a high road or a low road. Mm-hmm. And if you took the low road, you could just jump up to the high road. And I didn't think you could do that. So it kind of like totally circumvented it. But it's one of those that if you get in a good fluid rhythm where you're just moving to the right, doing jumps and stuff like that, mm-hmm. That's the way that I designed the level, so you could kind of keep hopping and get a good rhythm to it. And but at the very end, if you did have this rhythm where you're just kind of flying through the stage and jumping at the appropriate times, I placed a Goomba just so that if you hit it, you'll fall one block short of hitting the goal and fall into a pit.
Okay. And
he did exactly that in his video. And I was like, yes! Someone fell for it. It was great. So I must say, if anybody's interested in playing my channels or my levels on their YouTube channel, please let me know, because I have an absolute blast watching it. Like, it was so much fun. Even though it was a crappy level, he made it really enjoyable to watch. So thanks a lot, Zarek. I really appreciate it. It made my day.
And we'll give you a shout out.
Well, yes. Shout out to Zarek. Zarek's Gaming Channel. Go there and watch some stuff. And then Dustin, I uploaded a Mario Maker video to our YouTube channel today. It was me playing through the level that I talked about that Dumbass made.
Mm-hmm.
I cut out about 8 minutes of deaths, and it's still a 28-minute video.
All right.
So, so that's up there. So you can go to our YouTube channel and check out me play through Domez level. He took some inspiration from a level that he had played. So it was kind of cool to see where he got some of the information from, or inspiration from. But, so thanks to Zarek and Domez for giving me some entertainment this last week. And then listen to this, Dustin. So my buddy got screwed over by the Steam Refund system.
How so?
Okay. He bought Fallout 4, and it won't run on his machine. So he obviously hasn't played it for 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And he found out right away that it wouldn't install. So he didn't have it for 14 days. The reason that he's saying that they wouldn't give him the refund was he also bought, I think it was Dead Island at the same time for $5. So at the exact same, so he bought, since it was when he was pre-ordering Fallout 4, he picked up Riptide for $5 or something. I think it was Riptide. It might have been a different game. And when he contacted Steam for the refund, they said, well, we can only refund the entire transaction. And since you've played Riptide more than the allowable amount of time for the refund, we can't refund anything.
That's dumb as hell.
So since he played Riptide for, let's just say 50 hours, I think that's what he said. So he played a lot of Riptide. They're like, no, we can't. There's nothing we can do. So, pro tip: if you're gonna buy multiple games on Steam, do it on individual transactions.
No joke.
I felt bad for him. I did tell him, look on the bright side. You're inevitably going to be upgrading your computer.
Yeah.
And Fallout 4 will always be there. And he's always played games that are, he's always willing to go back to games that are a couple years old.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't think it'll be any problem for him to wait a little bit to play Fallout. So he'll eventually enjoy it. It just sucks he can't right now. And it sucks he can't buy it later down the road when it does go on sale.
Yeah. By then it'll have Oculus support. It'll be awesome.
Yeah, exactly. And then that'll force him into upgrading his computer.
Yeah.
So yeah, that sucks. I felt bad for it's Nate who's written into the show before.
Oh.
So yeah, it sucks. I
Poor Nate.
felt bad for him. So then also, the Origins of Tetris is getting a movie made. And it's from the director of X-Men Last Standing. So, let's see, what's the director's name?
Bryan Singer?
Maybe. I don't know, but anyways, it seems like it's anyways, it's going to be the backstory to Tetris, which is really crazy.
Brett Ratner.
Brett Ratner, that's who it is?
Yeah.
Okay. So it looks like it's going to be about the Russian designer who developed the game while he was living in Russia.
So it's going to be like a proper movie, right? Not a documentary?
Yeah, it says a feature-length biopic, similar to David Fincher's Facebook movie on Mark Zuckerberg.
Dude, I'm there. That sounds awesome.
Right? And have you ever watched any interviews with this guy, the creator of Tetris?
I've seen a little bit.
He seems like a really nice guy.
Yeah.
Really friendly, really cool. Alexei Pajitnov, maybe is how I say it. I don't know. I get nervous with foreign names. Hell, yeah. I get nervous with some American names.
Right.
So, yeah. Yeah, I'm with you, man. Sign me up. I will. That's a movie that I hope I'm gonna want on Blu-ray. That I want to have a physical permanent copy of. And then, lastly, in news, this week, Nintendo has came out and said that the games that they're making with DNA, the first batch of them are all going to be free to play with microtransactions. So I believe they might be classifying them as free to start. Or maybe that's on the 3DS that they're doing that. They're calling instead of saying free to play, they're saying free to start this game.
That makes me a little more optimistic about the quality of the games.
Right? I don't know. Coming from an experience like I've had with Blizzard games,
Mm-hmm.
I've softened on microtransactions where if I hear that they're going to be there, I don't immediately write it off as it's going to be a terrible situation.
Yeah.
And if it's good, I feel okay giving money and paying for features in the game.
Yeah, a lot of times it's just it's a way for designers to kind of get away from good design.
It can be.
But like with Blizzard, you don't have to worry about that because they know how to make awesome games.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I'm hoping will happen with Nintendo. Maybe they'll just be fun.
Mm.
I know you're never optimistic. I really hope that we don't have a situation like we did with Plants vs. Zombies 2 or Candy Crush. Did you ever play Candy Crush?
A little bit.
It's a great match 3 game.
Yeah.
It's great. But it becomes impossible if you don't pay money. And I don't know, just the way that they do it just felt kind of dirty.
Absolutely.
And it seemed really expensive to play Candy Crush. Like, it got to the point where it was so tough it would be expensive to play the game.
Right, yeah.
And I also felt that way about Plants vs. Zombies 2. Which is a bummer because Plants vs. Zombies 1 was a $10 game when it first came out. And you got the whole game, and it was a wonderful experience. And the way that they implemented the free-to-play model with Plants vs. Zombies 2, it felt like it was really expensive to keep progressing in the game, and that you had to open your wallet instead of use your mind, which sucks. Go buy, you must build a boat if you want a good match 3 game.
Yeah.
Or 10 million.
10 million, yeah, that's what I was going to say. Oh, there's a new, I haven't picked it up yet, but apparently there's a new Room. The Room 3.
Yeah, I did see that the Room 3 came out. Or that it was coming out. There was something on Polygon or Kotaku last week.
I saw it in the App Store, and I was like, what the hell? Nobody told me. I thought we were, like, buddies with the... No, we're not.
We're not. But... but your videos that are of the Room have done quite well.
Yeah, the first videos I did for the Room, the original one, are like tens of thousands at this point.
Yeah, and for us that's
just
huge.
Crazy.
They're good. You know, the Room's an awesome game, but I could see getting stuck. So you have really good walkthroughs there that help you through solutions and whatnot, and it makes it easy to skip around.
Yeah.
So that, like, if you just need to figure out what you got stuck with and then wait till you get stuck again before you watch the video, your videos are helpful for that situation. So, yeah, man. As far as what we've been playing this week, you've got one game listed here.
That's right.
And I'm interested to talk about it.
I had like half an hour to actually play video games this week. But if I'm going to pause and tell you what I haven't been playing.
Okay.
It's this.
Dude, I got mail too. So we will be talking about that.
For our audio listeners, I just held up the Dreamcast version of Pier Solar, and it's flipping beautiful. It's still sealed up in its case, and probably will stay that way forever and ever.
Oh, dude, you gotta... I know that pink tape that shows that it's still factory sealed. Mm-hmm. I know you don't want to crack it, but you owe it to yourself. Bust that open and look at... Because Watermelon puts so much detail into what they pack into the game. Like, you've got to at least open up the poster, you've got to look at how they designed the CD, the soundtrack, what they did with the instruction booklet. I believe the Dreamcast comes with a strategy guide, like a mini strategy guide. Am I correct in that?
I don't know. It's heavy enough.
Like, look how...
Yeah, it's bowed, like, right here.
Yeah, so I don't... Maybe there is a bit of a walkthrough or something, but nonetheless, they do it... like, their packaging is just top-notch. It's unbelievable. So I would recommend you... you don't even have to play it. You should just see what you got.
I'm sure there's an unboxing video on YouTube.
Okay, yes. Wow.
I've never opened a watermelon product, even though I own 3 of them.
I got to tell you, so I got the strategy guide in the mail, finally, and oh my god, the strategy guide's unbelievable. I'll talk about it more here in a minute. But it comes in a cardboard box, like the packaging that it comes in is really nice, and there's that watermelon tape. And I'm like, oh, am I going to crack this? I got to see what I have. I got to see what I bought. So I did. I busted it open and checked it out. So I'll talk about that here in a minute.
But you still have do you still have the original Genesis cart? Like the original?
Yeah. There's like, it comes with a certificate of authenticity certificate. It's like 400 and something out of 800 carts.
Man, that's awesome.
It's like one of the first runs, or it is the first run. And they told us we were the only press copy they sent out.
Dude, that's awesome.
So I don't know how Tony got that.
Man.
But, so we got a press copy of it. And so I had to bust that open.
Yeah.
That's my excuse for that. And the packaging in that was unbelievable. Like, yes, go watch unboxings. Watch 2 unboxings.
All right.
Just to make sure. But you've been playing Grow Home.
I have, yeah. I had like 30 minutes to play some video games before I got on the Skype call, but I was going to play, I don't know, something else for like 2 hours, but I had to like go be a dad or something. So, but that game's cool. For people who don't know or don't remember, it's been a while since it came out. You're a little robot and you get dropped on a planet, and the goal of the entire game is to grow a plant 2,000 meters up into the sky. Or is it? No, it might be 2,000 kilometers. Yeah, we'll go 2,000 kilometers up into the sky so you can get to your ship. And that's pretty much it. That's the beginning and the end of the story so far. And as you go around, you find little crystals, and when you get the crystals, you can power yourself up. Like the first thing I got was you can control the camera. Like you can zoom out and see things better. I just unlocked like a little jetpack, so I can hover for just a little bit.
Oh, that would be so helpful.
Yeah. There are also like these big flowers that you can collect, and you can use those as like a parachute. And what else? I found a cave, and I went in, and there was a bird. So I grabbed a hold of it, and that's one of the big mechanics of the game is you use R1 and L1 to grab a hold of things, and you can use that to climb.
Yeah.
Or you can use it to grab a bird and take it to the mouth of the cave and drop it off. And that's when you find out that it's a flightless bird, and it falls to its death.
I did. So I played like 20 minutes, half hour of this game. And I saw things to collect and whatnot, and I was climbing up the side of like a cliff or a hill type of area. And kept falling, and said, "Screw this! I've had enough."
It's a little clumsy. I'm not sure I'm not entirely in love with the way that the robot controls. He has a lot of momentum, and he will sometimes just keep going and fall off of something. And
well, that was the thing, is I feel like I would make progress up, and one little slip, and you're just in a free fall, and you try and just grab at the side of the cliff to try to catch yourself, and sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. And I don't know. It didn't. I loved the look of the game. Like visually, it was amazing.
It reminds me. It reminds me of a PlayStation One game.
A little
Not
bit,
so.
but Wind Waker.
Yeah, not necessarily in the look, but in the design. Like it's weird. It reminds me of Jumping Flash, where basically the scale of the game is kind of like a feature. Like, look how high you can go. Um, it's kind of weird and minimalist. It reminds me of like those really weird experimental PlayStation One games where they were just like, I don't know, here's like $1 million, go make something awesome, and you got like Parappa the Rapper. Um, yeah, Grow Home. It's pretty cool.
Do you think you'll finish it?
Probably.
Cool.
Like as I pick up crystals, I gain things, and if I have progression, then it makes me want to continue forward
I understand.
because it. What's the neurotransmitter that releases when you see progression?
Dopamine?
Dopamine. That's it.
Sweet. Look at me being the encyclopedia for once.
That's right.
Before we get into what I've been playing, I had to ask you, did you watch the commercial for Just Cause 3 on Giant Bomb?
No, not yet.
So, it was a little disappointing because it wasn't a true quick look.
Okay.
And they have the developers with them.
All right.
So, I don't like when the developers are there, even when they're nice guys to listen to.
They call it an EX.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's an EX, and I can't wait for you to get this game.
All right. Yes.
So I won't get into too much. I watched about an hour of it.
Okay.
And one of the questions that was asked was, do you get the parachute thing? A suit that gives you the ability to basically fly because you glide so much, and a grappling hook to slingshot yourself like you would have in Arkham Knight.
Mm-hmm.
You get that kind of within about the first 15 minutes of the game.
Oh, yeah.
So you can just go bananas.
That's awesome.
And I thought that it looked good. From a graphical perspective, I thought this looks pretty good for a big open world game. Like, not bad. And the animation with transitioning into having the parachute out or into like the flying suit was very smooth and very snappy. It just looked like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I think you're going to really enjoy it. So as long as it controls really well, you're going to love the game.
All right.
But the thing is like you don't know how it controls because since it was an EX, the developers are the ones playing the game, so they're obviously really used to it, so they can make it look really fluid and nice. So hopefully it is. And Batman Arkham Knight, or actually all three of the Batmans, whenever you can grapple, it was smooth and quick, and I really liked it. And this looked to be on that level of quality.
I wonder if they talk about it on the most recent Bombcast.
They may have. I don't remember hearing any talk about it.
Okay.
So, but yeah, you should be excited. Do you know when that comes out? Just Cause 3?
No.
So, okay, cool.
I know it's going to be under the Christmas tree.
Good. Oh, sweet. So we don't have that long. Can you believe Christmas is this close?
Oh, man.
I've been buying Christmas gifts already.
I haven't.
Thanksgiving's next week.
That's crazy. Solomon's birthday is day after tomorrow.
No kidding. Is that 3?
Yeah, he'll be 3 years old.
Oh, jeez.
I know, right?
That's cool. So, yeah, I ended up getting the Pier Solar Strategy Guide. And my favorite part about it is that, and I didn't mention this in the video that I put up, because I did like an unboxing video and threw it up, just so people could basically see it and hopefully buy it. I don't know what their supplies are like, but the colors are just like beautiful. Like the artwork's amazing. The pages are thick, and glossy.
Mm-hmm.
The alignment is perfect from page to page. If you have a picture that scrolls across, or an image that scrolls across both pages, it lines up perfectly.
Huh.
So it just looks really nice. There's probably 4 or 5 languages in the back of it that has a complete walkthrough for like German or Dutch or whatever, maybe French or something like that. But yeah, there's multiple languages in it, but the English part was the colored part. Full color, like, just like unbelievable. The binding itself, like the cover, was a nice thick hardcover. Instead of having it printed on it, the logos and everything are imprinted.
Cool.
They do little touches, like there's this Pier Solar star that you see pop up, and that's on the back. You see a little bit in my video that I put up. It looks like a blemish on the cover, but it's not. It's actually when you see it up close, it's a cool little star. Then it was also wrapped in a little advertisement for a magazine, and the offer expired in October of 1988.
That's awesome.
So it was a cool little touch. So it was amazing. So I put up the video, and no joke, dude, the art director of the guide commented on the video.
Dude.
So I was like, oh, that was so cool. So
that is awesome.
So if you'd like to see the collector's guide or the strategy guide for Pure Solar, go to youtube.com/classic elite and search for it. If you're listening to this close to when it came out, it's just right there on the front page. So I also played Darksiders II. Do you remember the Cauldron? It's the first dungeon.
Not really.
Okay, I know you played it a while ago, but I got stuck in it, so I had to get a walkthrough. I got stuck in the first dungeon.
Oh man!
But now I'm through it, and it gave me kind of a renewed sense of motivation for the game. Like, all right, I'm gonna get into this because I'm kind of in the mood for a Zelda game, and it scratches the Zelda itches. So,
you know, Nintendo's not gonna put one out anytime soon.
Well, I thought that I saw confirmation on Polygon today that the Zelda should come out in 2016 for the Wii U.
Okay.
There's still a rumor. I mean, because there's no release date.
Only a year left to wait.
I know. Just right before the system dies.
Yeah.
Or is completely dead. Yeah, I've been enjoying Darksiders 2. I hate this name. The Definitive Edition instead of Definitive Edition.
Oh.
Because you play as Death. What are you rolling your eyes at? You're like Mr. Dad Pun.
Hey, I was just jealous that I didn't think of that.
Oh, okay. There you go.
That's amazing.
I thought it was like hyper corny. So,
Definitive Edition. Damn it.
You've missed your calling, man. You're in IT, and you should have been in marketing copywriting.
Yeah, I could have been the American Shigesato Itoi.
That reference went a little over my head.
Oh, man.
So, also, I've been playing The Witcher, right?
Uh-huh.
And I check in with Mike to see how far along I'm getting. And he keeps telling me I'm only halfway through the game, and I'm getting pissed. Because it's turning into a chore to get through this. Like, I'm not feeling... Him telling me that I'm only halfway through the game is making me feel like I've got a long way to go. So I've accomplished nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm playing, and I finally am like, you know what, screw this. I'm abandoning some quests. I'm not going to do them. I'm just going to go... One of the things said, get on a boat, and then go to this place. So I go to this place, and all of a sudden, it says, you better save right now, because if you proceed further, you cannot go back and do some of the other quests. And it's like, we recommend that you're level 22 to do this. I'm only 19, but I've got it set on easy, so I'm like, screw it. So I'm like, finally, like, this is a chance to feel like I've taken a big step forward in the story, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I say, screw it. And I failed like 3 missions immediately. Like, as soon as I hit yes, it's like, quest failed, quest failed, quest failed. And it felt good. It's like, get that shit off my plate. And so I did a little Googling. I Googled, how far into The Witcher am I at this point of the game? And somebody commented, about 70% you're almost done. So, I think I might do it. I might be able to finish this game.
This sounds like the worst social experiment in the world. Of just like, how far can we push you to suffer through this thing that you really don't want to do?
It's not my kind of video game. But when it's all said and done, I'm just hoping that I enjoy the ending.
Yeah.
So Mike's been giving me little hints here and there. And I got to tell you, at this point, I feel like I chose the wrong girl, man. Here's what I think happened. I think that the game sets you up for girl A. They're like, hey, you're in love with girl A, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you don't. At least the way that I've been playing the game, I haven't really spent that much time with her.
Mm-hmm. And
then they introduce you to girl B. And I've spent a lot more time around girl B, and girl B is kind of rad. But I have, because the game implied from the early on part that girl A is the girl, I've been kind of doing everything geared towards girl A and letting go of girl B. And in real life, I think I would have said, you know what, girl A, screw you. Girl B's awesome. But I'm playing the game like I think they want me to, so we'll see what happens in the end.
All right.
So, but yeah, so I went from really being disheartened with The Witcher to also, similar to Darksiders, kind of pushed through and got a little further.
Feeling relieved that it's almost over.
Kinda, yeah. I don't think it's going to make my top 5 games of the year. It's just a hunch. But I'll be proud of myself if I finish it. So, and then Heroes had a new hero come out. Heroes of the Storm had a new hero to play. Did I talk about this last week? How there's 2 players play 1 character?
Mm-hmm.
So I did this. He came out on Tuesday, and his name's Cho'Gall, and you're like a 2-headed ogre guy. And one guy controls the body, and one guy controls like magic in the head and stuff like that. And we only played against the bots. We didn't play against real people. But man, it's really fun.
All right.
And here's the cool thing. I don't think I talked about this last week. So normally a new hero in Heroes of the Storm costs $10. Pretty expensive. This one, you don't pay to unlock him. You play to unlock him. So if you don't have the character, okay, let's say you and I are playing Heroes of the Storm. If you select him, then I can select him. And if I get a chance to play with you, the owner of the character, in 2 games, or if I win 2 games with you, then I unlock the character. And then I can then pay it forward and play with somebody else that doesn't have that character unlocked yet. And if they play 2 games, then they'll unlock the character.
Huh. That's cool.
And then, if you are the good guy here and you're helping other people unlock this character, if you play 4 games with somebody that hasn't owned the character yet, they give you a boatload of in-game gold. Like, enough to buy one of the lower-end characters or the cheaper characters.
Wow.
Like, not a low... when I say low-end, I mean from a cost perspective. There's some really good characters that are inexpensive.
Cool.
They're just old, so they don't cost as much. But isn't that sweet that they came out with a character that not only do they incentivize a neat way to unlock it, but they give you a shitload of gold if you do.
Yeah, that's cool.
Very, the way they've been monetizing games lately, that felt very un-Blizzard-like.
Yeah.
Yeah, because their shit's kind of expensive. Although this new Hearthstone patch that I enjoyed quite a lot, I want to say that the previous expansions were $25, and this one was only 20, which was a nice little scale back.
That's cool.
Yeah, any little break, I'll be happy with. But yeah, so my buddy Keaton and I are playing this hero, and he's controlling the body, and I'm controlling the head. And there's the ability to shoot off this like little purple magic streak, which is really cool. So it feels like a skill shot. Then skill shots are just really fun and satisfying when you pull one off, but it's an easy one to accomplish.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's another ability where you shoot a ball forward and it bounces, and every time it bounces, you have an opportunity to hit somebody with it.
Okay.
And you can select powers that every time it bounces, it picks up more damage. So if you hit someone on the second or third bounce, you really do a lot more damage to them than you normally would have. This character doesn't use any mana, so that's pretty interesting. There's some other characters that don't use mana, like Illidan I don't think does. But it's just interesting that you don't have to worry about that. And it was fun. It was a really cool character, and big ups to Blizzard on coming out with a really interesting way to play a MOBA differently. Okay, that yawn means I should stop talking and we should move on to comments and emails.
If we re-render all our episodes in 4K, then we could label them Definitive Edition.
Definitive? Oh, because we're leet.
Right.
I thought the way I heard it was Finley, like you threw Finley, because that's where I live.
Yes, that too. Definitive
edition. Okay. You're not getting an episode title out of a pun this week, though.
What?
I'm not calling it the Definitive edition. Maybe I will. That's not a bad episode title.
It sounds like unnecessary punishment.
God, Dustin. Knock it off. That was actually a really good one. So, do you want to do comments or Mike's email first?
Let's do Mike's email first.
Mike's email first? Okay, take it away.
He said, subject line, trying to catch me raiding dirty. I'll try to think of a mixture of your name and Chameleonaire here in a minute. It'll probably be bad. I probably won't do it. Hi, all. I finished Rise of the Tomb Raider this week. Overall, it's a great game, but I hit a game-breaking bug.
Oh.
Just a tip to anyone playing the game, be sure always keep a few rounds of pistol ammo or you will have a bad time. Oh, no. I started Fallout 4, but I'm not far enough to talk about it yet. Fallout is the last game I'll play this year. Wait, maybe Xenoblade Chronicles X will be.
That's a huge game. He's not going to have time to get that in. Maybe he will.
Scott, when Rocket League first came out, I scored 8 goals in a single game. Of course, this is when tons of people were playing and everyone was figuring out how to play. Now it's probably only pro players playing. So when is Game of the Year? What are the categories? Do you guys already know what you are picking? Okay, take care all, Mike G.
Mike, I will start a document and I will add you to it for the Game of the Year stuff so you can start thinking about what you want to put in there. You would put whatever you want. It won't matter. And Rocket League 8 goals in a single game. That's amazing. I don't care if it was when people were learning how to play, because it's hard, I think, to just hit the ball straight. So maybe he was just at the right place at the right time 8 times in a row, but I think Mike's just good at video games.
Probably so.
So, but when is Game of the Year? I don't know, Dustin. Probably, the week before Christmas? That episode?
Yeah.
Probably something like that. Time. So tentatively book that, Mike, the Thursday before Christmas. Unless Christmas is on. Okay. The 17th, not Christmas Eve. The Christmas Eve, as it turns out, is a Thursday.
Okay.
So we'll record on maybe the 16th or 17th. Does that sound good?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Okay, cool. And we're gonna try to get Tony and Josh back for that as well. We'll see how schedules line up. Yeah, today is Tony's birthday. So, so happy birthday to Tony.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, buddy. So that's why he's not here today. He's out celebrating.
I'll probably pick Bloodborne because I think that's the only game that came out this year that I played.
So your tough decision is going to be your best old game you played this year.
Yeah. Probably Dark Souls. Or Chrono Trigger.
There you go.
Chrono Trigger.
So you're done. Luckily, I'll just be able to take out what you just said and edit it into Game of the Year and
done.
Yeah, 'cause since we're not like a major publication, like it doesn't matter. Like we don't get into heated debates or anything. I just like doing the year review of games, which is fun.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and then we have comments from Demez and Zarek. So we'll get to those. I'll go through Demez's comments and then I'll let you get to Zarek's. So I'm confused by this first. I don't remember the last episode, Dustin. So I'm confused by this comment.
All right.
So help me out here. He says, I got 2 cars and 2 different car stereos, and I can't remember how to program each one of them. Each one of them. Oh, we're talking about time clocks, I think. Mm-hmm. So he's got 2. Okay, so this makes sense. So he's got 2 cars and 2 different car stereos, and he can't remember how to program each one's time every 6 months without looking up the manual to see how to program them. So he just leaves the time on both of them and does the math to correct it. So in my car I drove today, I must have 24 minutes to get the real time.
That's awesome.
That's funny, man.
Oh, that's awesome. That's great.
So, and then he also goes on to say that he is not worried about the classic game room at all. He's still big enough that he can shit out a review and it'll be worth money to him to do it. And no staff, it'll be all his money. He says, we will be hearing... What? Oh, he will be earning a living doing... I don't know why I didn't misread that. He'll be earning a living doing other things, but I would not be surprised if you see a review on his channel at least once a week or every 2 weeks. Yeah. He said that he could shit out a review and probably pocket a couple $100 or so. Why not do that every now and then? Yeah, maybe he's right. And then he says, you can buy expansion packs for Hearthstone with gold. It's a lot of gold, but still free. He loves the new legendary. Gives you full HP for 6 mana if you have just 1 of every card remaining in your deck, which is cool. Excuse me. So, Dustin, what that basically means is sometimes you'll have 2 of a certain kind of card in your deck. Mm-hmm. This card is rewarding you if you don't double up on cards in your deck. If you have a variety of a whole bunch of different cards.
Okay. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. It's definitely an interesting mechanic. My friend Matt put together a pretty cool deck and had a great play when I was playing against him, and it almost beat me. I was pissed. Because I rarely beat him. So to think that I was going to get victory and then have it snatched away from me, I was frustrated. But he's fun to play with. So anyways, and it says, when the time comes and the battery dies, get a flash cart. He's talking in reference to our discussion about fixing batteries in old carts last week. And he says, don't ruin your collectible SNES games by opening and cutting wires and soldering. Collectors will pay top dollar. Collectors that are going to pay top dollar for this stuff aren't going to want to have surgery done to them. Chrono Trigger on the SNES costs more than the flash cart, and you can still play with the original hardware and maintain the cart value. A lot of people have not thought about this issue. So, and he says, if you don't want to trim down my Mario Maker level, let's play. I'll do it for you. Just tell me what you... Oh, he wanted me to get that Mario Maker level published, the one that I did publish.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So, Demez, thanks for offering to edit it. I left it pretty long. So here's my thought, Dustin, as far as leaving it as a long video. I've been watching Patrick Klepek play Mario Maker, and his are like an hour long.
Mm-hmm.
And I enjoy watching him get better at the level and find new areas to progress through.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt maybe it would be enjoyable if I left my edits in that way.
Right.
So the only things that I really took out were really very redundant runs.
Okay.
And some really short ones. So you see me constantly progressing, I believe, through the video. So, and then Mike wrote in last week and complained about that level I have called Touchy Start.
Right.
It took Demez only 3 or 4 times. He said he didn't even notice it was hard.
Oh, snap.
That's some major shit talking, but he's got a right to earn it. I watched him play through Alpha Omega Sin's like ridiculously hard level, and he made it look easy. It was on his YouTube channel. He's a better Mario Maker player than I am.
All right.
So, yeah, Dumbass, thanks a lot for commenting, and thanks again for sending in that level for me to play and get up on our YouTube channel. So we got one more comment from Zarek, and then we'll call it a show.
All right, he says, the Star Wars talk was great. I'm planning on watching the entire series again. I have to prepare for the upcoming movie. I keep forgetting that's actually a thing. That's going to happen in like 40 days or something.
Yeah, it's like 5 weeks away.
Good luck with the Google Play Store. You guys deserve to be much bigger. Thanks. I graduated in 1999, 1 year too early for the AOL Messenger stuff, I guess.
Oh, too bad. That was the best.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about Game of the Year stuff. I don't know what mine is. I'm loving Fallout 4, of course, but I don't know if it's Game of the Year. I have Ori and the Blind Forest installed, by the way. Nice. I plan on doing a Let's Play of it before the end of the year, so that may be a contender. Speaking of new games with a retro feeling, I have either of you played Downwell? It's a very retro feeling game. It has very basic graphics, and you only need 3 buttons. It's crazy cheap on Steam.
I have watched people play Downwell. They had it on like Unprofessional Fridays or a Quick Look or something.
Okay.
It's like
That's the first I've heard of it.
Okay, so if I'm remembering it correctly, it's like black, white, and red. Like the color scheme, it's mostly black and white. Mm-hmm. And you're a guy and you're shooting down the whole time. And you're like falling down a well, and it's a roguelike. And as you're shooting down, you're kind of making your pathway through in like a Spelunky manner. But it's just in a well, so you just have like a single shoot that you're going down.
Oh, all right.
And you want to get as far down as you can. And it looked like it had really good controls. I don't know if there's music or not in it, but it looked really fluid and stuff. It's also available on iOS, I believe. And apparently the touch controls are pretty good.
Cool. All right.
So, yeah, I'll keep an eye out for Downwell. I agree with him.
He goes on to say, my favorite JRPG is Breath of Fire 3. Do I own that? Was it the PlayStation version? I don't remember. Mine. Oh, I organized all my games. I don't know if you guys can tell behind me.
I cannot. How did you, before we get back to his comment, how'd you organize them? Are you an alphabetical? Are you a genre? Are you a size of the cartridge?
I have gone alphabetical, and I just kind of, I don't know why I put them the way I did, but I went, look, it's like DS, 3DS, Wii, and then some Game Boy, then Nintendo, and then Nintendo 64, GameCube, Super Nintendo,
Sega Genesis. When I was dead broke.
Yeah.
Man, I couldn't picture this.
And they go from like left to right across the top row, then left to right across the middle row. So it goes across the 3 cabinets.
Okay.
But I had stacks of them like sitting around in my bookcases, and those are all alphabetized now.
Nice. Yeah, I like to keep mine by publisher, my old Nintendo carts, because like all the Capcom games look a certain way, the Black Box NES games all look a certain way, the Konami games have a real similar label.
Okay.
Yeah, so I like pulling out the drawer and seeing these chunks of colors. It doesn't really make much sense. And then in my own mind, I organize it by favorite to least favorite inside of that color scheme.
Okay.
So like Mega Man 2, 3, and 4 will be together, kind of at the front of the pat. And then, like, Little Mermaid would be at the end of the Capcom row.
Okay.
With DuckTales and Darkwing Duck, and I think I've got Tailspin. I think so. And Chip and Dale.
Darkwing Duck. I need to get that game.
It's hard.
Yeah? You think so?
I think so. There's a really weird blocking mechanic, like pressing down and fire or something like that does a block.
Okay.
And it can interrupt some of the platforming.
Oh, okay.
So, but yeah, it's just hard. It's good, but it's hard.
Word.
So okay, back to Zarek.
Right. Speaking of Darkwing Duck, Chrono Trigger is one of my favorites for sure. But there are a lot of games I like equally or greater. Games like Wild Arms don't get enough love. That's actually, that's a good point. I was surprised when Colin Moriarty's his second favorite game ever was Wild Arms.
Yeah.
His first was Mega Man 3, which let's not get into that. But yeah, Wild Arms is a great game, a very good game. He goes on to say the Elgato is definitely perfect for console recordings. I used to use the old 30 FPS one to record PC gaming as well. That was before YouTube upgraded to 60 FPS, and I upgraded to a GTX 970. NVIDIA Shadowplay is just so easy to use. I have to buy Legacy of the Void as well. Let me know if you have trouble finding someone to co-op with you. I'm definitely going to destroy that game. I would have to record the game sessions if we played, though. I don't have a lot of free time right now, so any time I spend on gaming goes on to YouTube. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, Zarek, I will. I'll send you a direct message with my Blizzard name and add me on Blizzard, so we can be Battle.net friends. Because my buddy that said he was going to play co-op with me has yet to do so, and I'm sick of waiting. So hell yeah, Zarek, let's team up and let's play some Legacy of the Void co-op.
Let's see. He says, thanks for the shout out again. I may be going back to a normal work schedule in a week or two now.
Sweet.
That retro gaming dad joke. I'm going to get all the ladies now. Damn right. I'm gonna thumbs up.
+1 that comment.
That's right.
So, all right, everyone. That should do it for episode 162. I want to thank you very much if you're still listening. I really appreciate it. Also need to give a thank you to Ben Landis very much for letting us use his song Through the Force as our intro music. And want to remind everyone to find us on Stitcher. You can find us on
Google Play.
Almost Google Play. iTunes, ClassicElite.com. Also Play. Google Play. That would help us out there. Search every day for it so that we get up in the SEO rankings. Do us a favor there. And then also we're on like Facebook, Google+, Twitter, YouTube. Just search for Classic Elite and Twitch at any of those places, and you will find us. We're pretty easy to get a hold of. So as far as outro music this week is concerned, I'm going to play a song by a guy named Rock a Bit. And this song is called Bump Song off of an album that's like Taoism 2 or something like that. Taoism Volume 2. It's awesome. So hopefully everyone enjoys Bump Song from Rock a Bit. And we will see you next week for episode 163.
Boosh.